show your face. I don't care if you're in pajamas, okay? The only reason why I ask, hey girl, the only reason why I ask is because like it's better to interact and talk to you guys face to face than just see a blank screen. So even if you're working, just come in. Today I'm really excited because today my girl Daisy will be talking about how authenticity helps you build a brand, okay? And that, let me tell you how important that is, right? Because that's how I personally build my brand, being my authentic self, meaning you are not trying to fit in, trying to be like someone else, trying to stick to some routine that is not you, right? Like there is space for your authentic self in our industry. And that's what helps you connect with other people, right? Like you do not have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. So Daisy's gonna talk to you guys and teach you guys and teach myself some things about how being authentic can really help boost your brand and give you exactly what you need, right? Create a platform for yourself that is based on someone like yourself. So Daisy, whenever you're ready to take on the floor, if you guys have friends that you guys want to send this to, go ahead and share the live, you hear me? Share the masterclass. Another thing, please comment in the chat. You guys know I'm always asking you guys to comment. Comment in the chat your Instagram handles so you guys can all follow each other. And then comment if it's your first time on here or if you're already in Glow and Grow Academy, you guys. Hello. Hi again. All right, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let Daisy go ahead and proceed. If you guys have questions right in the chat, you know I will stop her to answer questions for you guys. Daisy, go ahead.
Hi guys, so my name is Daisy. I'm a mom of three, so I'm also known as the Mommy Mindset Mentor. And Mommy Mindset Mentor was born out of being a mom. And so for me, that has always been like my brand because instead of trying to say like, man, I can't create content because I'm a mom, or I can't post on social media, or I can't build a business because I'm a mom, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually good. This is a part of my identity. So instead of letting being a mom hold me back, I'm actually going to use it as my superpower because instead of like trying to hide my kids, I might as well just embrace my kids and have them on with me on videos or, when I go to events and things like that because there's no other way around it. Like I'm a mom and instead of trying to hide it, I just embrace it. So I am going to start sharing my screen. Can I share my screen on here or do you have to do that? I think, dang, how can I share my screen?
You should be able to share it. You just click share. I gave you access.
Okay, let me see. Share. Okay. Dang, is this sharing?
No, I see your head.
Hold on, it's can you get no, that's so weird. I don't know if it's because I don't have no storage. Let me see. Start broadcast. Three, two, one. And then it doesn't do it.
Technical difficulties, y'all. Give her 1 second,
Let
okay?
me see. Photos. Again, 1 second.
How about let me interact with you guys while you're on here really quick. Tell me a struggle that you guys have been dealing with this week when it comes to your business. I want to hear something that you're struggling with. Not the highlight, the struggle. What is something you guys have been struggling, either mentally, business-wise, you've been dealing with a client that kind of gave you a rough time. Okay, let me see. Cassandra, getting followers. Yeah, did anybody else go through that? Because I literally lost like 500 followers overnight. Don't know what's going on. And a lot of people message me the same thing. So something's going on with Instagram. What else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Nobody struggled? I know that's a lie. Paying bills, paying business bills, and filling books. I feel you, girl. I had a client giving me a hard time. We know how that goes. Gaining clientele. Filling books for sure this week after taking out promotions. That's always tough, right? Definitely stop with the promotions. We don't do those over here, right? If you guys have been my mentees, what do I say? Hell no to promotions. We don't do that over here. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties with Daisy's screen. Daisy, if you cannot get to it, girl, just get to speaking, girl. Just get to talking. It's hard not to do promotions. It's not hard not to do promotions, girl. It's not hard to not do them. You know why? Because we don't want to bring in cheap clients. But this call is not about that. Daisy, we can see your
All
screen.
right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? I want to make sure before I continue. You guys see my screen? I can't see y'all in the chat. Jen, do y'all see my screen? Okay, I see you now. I see you now. Okay. So I want to give a little bit of an introduction. So I actually started on social media when I was 16 years old. So I was actually looking back at my videos today. So it's actually been 7 years. So I started on YouTube and I started messy. I didn't know like what I was doing. And so it wasn't like, oh, I had a content strategy or I have a content plan. I just wanted to make videos because even back then, 7 years ago, I knew that the way for financial freedom and time freedom is through the digital marketing space, even though I didn't even know or understand what that really was 7 years ago because it's not as big. It wasn't as big as it is now. But even back then, as a teenager, I knew that social media in the digital online space was going to be how you can make money without physically having to be somewhere. And so the so when it comes to consistency, so like I said, it's been like 7 years. And even though like through all that time, if I wasn't making money, the whole point is building a skill set because posting online and being on social media is a skill set. Digital marketing is a skill set for your business. So it's the same way with anything. Like you're going to be practicing lashing, you're going to be practicing doing eyebrows, you're going to be practicing doing facials. All of those things are skill sets that even in the beginning, if you're not making money, you know that it is eventually going to make you money the more that you're being consistent and practicing that. And so why authenticity matters. So authenticity builds trust with your audience. It differentiates you from others in your niche. So in your industry, so let's say there's multiple people, in the beauty industry, and a lot of the times we all offer the same service, whether it's brows, lashes, nails. So what's going to make you different than the other girl who literally offers the same service as you, who's also just as great, who also uses high quality products? What's going to make someone want to book with you versus the other girl who's down the street? And it creates a deeper connection and loyalty. And a quote is, people don't just buy products, they buy the story behind them. And so I created this example of this water bottle. So Fiji literally charges probably like, I don't know, let's just say, for example, $5. And then there's Zephyrhills. You can buy like a pack of 24 for like $2. And so, what's going to be the difference? Why are people willing to pay $5 for a water bottle versus Zephyrhills? And so, Fiji has a story. And so, you can see, like, on their water bottle, they talk about how they're exotic and how they're from this other country and it's just premium. And so, people are willing to pay that premium price because of the story and the brand that Fiji offers. For all I know, Fiji could literally be tap water and we're buying $5 tap water. So, but that's literally the power of branding, is that people are willing to pay more because of your branding and because of your story. So the same thing when it comes to your beauty services, the same thing when it comes to your social media, and the same thing when it comes to your branding or your mentorship and your coaching. You are not just selling a service, you are selling a transformation and you are selling a story. And so, your story, defining authenticity and branding. What authenticity is not? Perfectly polished, overly curated content, copying others or following trends just for popularity. What authenticity is? Being true to your values, personality, and story, sharing your journey, your struggles, and your growth openly. So over the years, that has always been something that I've done. And it was just something natural. Like I wanted to share about my struggles because I was a stay-at-home mom. I had nobody else to talk to. So social media was like my outlet. Like when I needed someone to talk to, or I needed to like, express myself, I would go on social media and voice my opinion. And
I
so that
have
was a
I
way.
have a question for the chat really quick. How many
Yeah.
of you guys drop in the chat number one? How many of you guys currently struggle with being authentic on your social media? Like it's actually a struggle for you guys because you are kind of like in that mindset where you feel like things might have to be perfect. Just drop a one in the chat if you feel that way or if you've ever felt that way because I know I have.
Yeah, so I can't see the chat, but I hope you guys are dropping your numbers in there.
They are dropping ones, all of them.
And I think that was also something else that I struggled with as well for a long time. It was like I was showing up halfway authentically myself because, fear of being judged or what are people going to think of me. But when I hired a mentor, one of the biggest things that really shifted my perspective is that she said a brand should be repelling and attracting at the same time. So if your brand is not attracting people who align with you and your values and repelling people who don't, then you don't have a strong enough brand. So a lot of the times I was scared to have a strong brand because I was scared of repelling people. But if you're not attracting and repelling, then you're really just like in the middle and your brand isn't standing up for anything. Like it's not really going to stand out because it's like in the middle. And so, storytelling, using your story to connect with clients, share why you got into the beauty industry and your passion, be transparent about the challenges and lessons you've learned. So I know there was like someone on here, like one of her videos on TikTok went viral because she was literally talking about how her client, like I forgot, her client like didn't pay, or her client, or it was like her client had said that it was like fraudulent. The thing was fraudulent, and that video went viral because it related to other beauty entrepreneurs were able to learn from it, and also other people were just like really interested in the story. So different things like that, I think that was a great example on how you can use that specifically in the beauty industry. I'm not sure how many beauty professionals are in here because I know that there's also some people who like to build like just a personal brand. But most all these strategies, you're able to use them in whatever niche it is that you're in, whether it's a personal brand, whether it's in the beauty industry, whether you're a realtor. So being transparent and open. So here's some content ideas that perform like really well is like behind the scenes content of your studio, or like the ones that I used to love to do when I was when I had clients was like recording like the session, and then like whatever conversations we had during the session, obviously you got to make sure that your client's okay with being recorded, but like whatever casual, like real authentic conversations we would have, I love posting those like real and raw conversations of like what me and my client would talk about, as long as like obviously they were okay with me recording them. You got to make sure you have your consent forms. And so that sharing transformations, honest reviews, like having your clients share reviews and testimonies of their experience, and then even when you're like doing before and after photos, making sure that it's not like overly edited. Obviously you want to do some light touches, but you want to make sure that it's not overly edited where it looks fake, where you're over promising on your services and then people book and the lashes don't look like the lashes on Instagram. So, actionable steps that you can start. Number one is clarify your values and your style. Number two, share your why. Number three, show your personality. This is like a great way for you to grow online. Is that like everyone's trying to just do like B-roll videos and kind of just like copying off of each other. But the videos that I see that are performing very well are like the original audios, voiceovers, and showing your personality. And so like I've had two, like I posted like 3 videos back to back, and all 3 of those went viral, and they were not trending audios, and they weren't like something that I saw that was trending. It was actually my own original audio that I got off of TikTok. And I was like, at first I was like, I don't know how this is going to perform because it's not a trending audio, and I'm so used to just using trending audios and what I see trending currently on Instagram. But I was like, in order to build a brand, you can't just go based off of trends. Like you are the trends, you create the trends. And so I was like, and that's what I was doing for so long. I was just going based off of trends. And then I realized, like, no, my Instagram page is like my home. Your Instagram page is like your house. So, what do you want people to know about you, your brand, and your business when they come to your house? And so, the more that you are yourself, the more people are just gonna connect with you. And if they don't like you, that's totally fine. They can go book with the other girl down the street. But the more that you are yourself, the more that you're gonna attract people that align with you and that you genuinely enjoy working with. And so, engaging with your audience. So when people like comment underneath your reels or they send you DMs, engaging with them, because it's all about like building a community. So like, if they ask you questions, giving them advice, things like that, being consistent. I feel like a lot of the times people know what to do and you just don't do it. And so that's the biggest thing. It's like maybe even things that you heard me talk about today, you already know it, but you're not doing it. And if you're not doing it, that's why you're not seeing results. And number 7, use storytelling. So that this is one of my favorite ways. Like they say, like show, don't tell. So it's like in my captions now, I've been really focusing on storytelling. So like not just offering you something, like not just selling you something, but telling you the story on like why I got into it or how it's helped me. So that way you can see yourself in my story, or people can be able to see your client and they can picture themselves. So, for example, if you're someone who offers facials specifically for someone who has acne, you can talk about how your client came in and she was suffering from painful acne and how your service was able to help that person. Now, someone else who also suffers from acne is going to see that. They're going to see themselves in your client and they're going to want to book with you because they're like, if she was able to help that person, I know she's going to be able to help me in some way or form. So, the same way when like Jen posts like testimonials or reviews on her story of other people who were struggling with the same thing that a potential client might be struggling with, whether it's, social media or setting up their business. Now, people who are looking at her story, who are dealing with these things, see how she's been able to help other people. Now they're going to want to book with her because of the testimonials. So that's how you're able to use authenticity to build your brand. And then staying true to yourself. Don't try to be like someone else that you're not. I think the most important thing is that you should be the same way offline and online. So you don't want to portray to be somebody that you're not online. And then when they meet you in person, you're like, they're just confused. They're like, because then that just ruins also your reputation because they're going to think that you're fake. And so the more real that you are, whether they like it or not, at least they can respect that you're real. And the last thing is that authenticity will attract the right people. And so that's pretty much it. Just want to like open up the floor to Q&A if anybody had some questions or if Jen, you want to say anything.
This is a major topic. Okay. How many of us deal with imposter syndrome? Where you see anything on Instagram and you're like, I should be doing that, right? Who said me? Classic minx. You deal with imposter syndrome? All of you. Me as fuck. Right. All of us, right? We sometimes, even sometimes I find myself like, damn, I'm comparing myself to another mentor. And it's like, we don't need to be that way, right? Like we need to have tunnel vision when it comes to our business because our business is our business. Our homegirl's business over here has nothing to do with me, right? And a lot of times we'll stop ourselves from posting, we'll stop ourselves from saying the right things. How many times have you tried to record a video and you just delete it 20 different times instead of just posting it? You just post it, right? Stop looking up of the pimple you got right here. Stop looking at your shirt. Like Daisy said, it's gonna make you relatable. Pick up the damn camera. I know all of you guys that have been here, you guys have literally seen me with my hair looking like a mop in pajama clothes, right? And has that stopped you from uh finding me credible? No, because I'm still giving you guys the tea. The way the drafts hate to see me coming. Deanna, get on your shit, girl, because all of you here, every single one of you, first of all, I follow you guys. You are talented as hell. Okay, the skill is there. What's lacking is the social media presence, the confidence, the authenticity, right? Like, I know that we all have idols when it comes to the beauty industry, right? Just somebody that you look up to, somebody that you respect. You guys, it's you're not inventing the wheel again. You're literally mimicking and taking inspiration from these people and applying it to yourself. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So if somebody has 100,000 followers and they're doing this exact method, why would you think that you have to change the wheel? It makes no sense. And also, you're getting in your own way of growth because you're going to tell yourself, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when my hair is done. I'll do it when I get my nails done. And it's like, okay, now every day that you're waiting for all this bullshit excuses, because that's what they are, you're just wasting time, right? Like 3 days of not posting because your hair is not done is crazy because that's 3 days of money lost, right? So, do you guys have any questions for Daisy for the authenticity? Because this was a shorter call than we normally have. But this is the time to ask her a question, okay? Because she's really, really good on social media. Her last few posts went 1.3 million. This is the last one that I saw of hers. So she knows what she's doing. Yes, Raquel, to a question, or yes, you
Yeah,
guys.
so I was gonna say, like, authenticity, I think it's always stems from like a deeper root issue. And that was something that I like, that's why it's like really mindset, because you can know all these things, but what's and you can know that you need to show up authentic authenticity authentically,
Authenticity.
but there's something like literally like there's a root problem, like a rejection that probably stems from your childhood or something that's causing you to not show up as your 100% self. So really what you need help with is also finding clarity and having someone like trying to figure out, okay, what is stopping you from being your true self.
Raquel, you had a question, and then my girl Classic Minx, I will answer yours as soon as she's done. Raquel, you could unmute yourself if you want to ask it that way.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Daisy. Hi, everybody. I think for me, my struggle is I overthink, but the other thing is sometimes when you've had a personal situation so close to your business and that's affecting your business, it's hard to show up authentically because in order for me to be authentic, part of my personality is not to fake it till I make it. So if I'm going through something in my business, how do you like show up authentically, but also
Professionally?
keep it professional without, getting petty, so to speak? And it's not that I want to be petty, but it's just sometimes in speaking your truth, it's it can be perceived that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I would just talk about it because it's kind of like the other girl who's on here. I don't know her name, sorry. Miss Castro, like, she went on TikTok and she was like talking about her client. Her client even was like, you need to take the photos down or I'm gonna sue you. Like literally, and I've had a client try to sue me because I posted a video on the I posted a video of them on my Instagram. And so it's like honestly, like you said, I think being authentic and talking about what's going on is being real, despite of who might like it or not like it. That's the whole point, is that we're here to share our journey and our struggles.
And
So I think
let me mention some legality. Don't quote me because I'm not a lawyer, okay? But you could tell your story and say allegedly, and then you don't have to mention the person's name either. Because there's no way somebody could sue you if you don't mention their name, or you could say this, allegedly happened to me, or you just tell your story without the name.
or just use like a fake name.
People will make their assumptions, and I'm sure, I mean, you guys saw my story recently where I outed someone in this industry, right? But I did it respectfully and I told my truth and people figured it out, and that's completely on them. It has nothing to do with me. If you did something bad, that's on you, girl. If you're mad about it, you shouldn't have done it, right? Classic Minx says, how do we get out of our own way when it comes to posting? Daisy, this one's for you.
Okay, my kids are kind of screaming in the background.
It's okay. She said, how do we get out of our own way when it comes to posting?
I think you got to try and figure out like what's holding you back. Like, is it that there's a particular group of people or someone specific that you don't want them seeing your content? Because a lot of times that's why people like create new pages, because they're like, oh, I don't want my family to watch what I have to say. Or sometimes you just block them. Just block them so that way they don't see what you're posting.
I'm not gonna lie, that's me currently. I have my mom muted from my stories because sometimes I just keep going. And sometimes, our parents and our families, they have opinions, and I don't care for your opinion because I'm gonna speak my mind at the end of the day. And people like when you're real and raw, right? When you don't sugarcoat it and you just say it how it is, whether you're having a bad day or not, sometimes things have to be said. Gina, I know that we talked about all the time in our mentorship how you had issues with clients too. And it's like, you got to speak up sometimes. You really do. Because if you don't tell your audience what you will and won't accept, then people will continue to step on your toes and think that it's acceptable. And it's like, no, there's a way to be real and raw without being rude. People like they put two and two together, like, oh, I don't want to sound rude. Why would you sound rude if you're just being yourself and you're being authentic and you're literally putting your foot down? That's not being rude. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Everybody's like, who are you beefing with? I'm not beefing with anybody. I'm just being real. I'm just saying what I'm not gonna accept. Militza, así se dice, right? Militza. Sometimes they don't understand us as business owners. That part too. That's why none of my family and friends follow me on my business page. I have a personal page for that reason. You want to go follow me over there? Go do that. Follow my business page and criticize me, I'm blocking your ass because you're not about to tell me how to run my business.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of times, like our family members, they don't see the vision and they don't understand what we're doing because they've never done it before. So that's why. But also the other thing, when it comes to like imposter syndrome and like, kind of like touching on what you said, Jen, about like, sometimes we compare ourselves to other people. Something that I had to do was stop watching people's stories. Like I had to stop watching my friends' stories, not because I dislike you or I have beef with you. But because I'm watching your story and that's getting in my way because now it's getting in the way of my creative thinking because then you start like hearing other people's opinions and you're not like in tune with yourself because you're watching everybody else.
Ariana said, I have a question as well. For example, I'm working 2 jobs plus I'm lashing, so 3 jobs total. I'm scared to take the leap of faith to just lash. I just got my own suite, so now I'm trying to take the leap and just only lash, if that makes sense. And I'm a mother of one. Ariana, I want to answer your question with my own personal testimony because I could relate. So, like 6 years ago, I was fired from my job. I was a single mom of one, and I got fired. So I didn't even have a choice to like not do it, right? I got fired and I used my very last paycheck to invest in a lash course after being licensed for years. You just have to jump. There's no way around it. There's no inching in, there's no creeping in. Like, if this is what you want to do full time, you are going to do it full time. And that means you want to do this full time, then guess what? Tomorrow you're quitting your jobs and you're going to go hard on marketing and reaching out to people and putting yourself on screen every single day. There's no way around that. There's no like, oh, you could just creep in. Like, no. If you want to do it full time, that means showing up on camera every single day. That's what I used to do. I used to charge $40 for lash sets every single day. I have videos. I kind of post them a lot too of my throwbacks with my long ass hair. I was posting every day as if I was like a millionaire. And I probably made $100 my very first month of business, if that. But I was posting and talking like I had it in the bag, right? Because you have to be your number one supporter. Nobody's going to support you. Let me just start off there. Nobody's going to support you. Your friends are going to look at you crazy. Your family's going to look at you like you're insane. They're going to tell you it's just a hobby. They're going to tell you, you're a mom. What are you going to do? How are you going to feed your kid? That's a hobby. Like nobody does that. You need a real job. What are you going to do? What's going to be your real job? And that's going to be in your brain, right? That's going to be eating at you when, first of all, these people don't pay your bills. Okay. They don't have say in your life. And if I would have let those people tell me, like, oh, what are you going to do? I would have literally still been working a 9 to 5 miserable for the rest of my life. Okay. So, like, there's no if, ands, or buts. If this is your passion, then you give it 1,001%. Instead of waking up and crying about you needing to feed your kid or you needing to pay a bill, you wake up and you're like, all right, how the hell am I going to make this money today? How am I going to make it happen? I need to hit up 20 different people. I need to show up on camera all day. I need to talk about my services. I need to tell them how many appointments I have available. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about that. Yeah, $40 is crazy, but let me tell you, in 2 years of lashing from home with $40 lash sets, I opened up 2 beauty salons back to back. I opened one in 2 years, and 7 months later, I opened the second one, twice as big. So it can be done. It can be done. This is not like La La Land, right? Like the beautiful thing about our industry is we have complete control on how much money we're bringing in a day. Literally complete control. Complete control. And you're welcome for the advice. Does anybody else have any questions? I want to tell you guys real quick, if you are in Glow and Grow Academy, our next call is next week on Tuesday the 12th at 7 p.m. It's going to be a social media mastery class with my girl Callie from Canada. And she's going to be speaking about how to make your Instagram page aesthetically pleasing and the shots that you need to take, the pattern that you need to have. Literally, her page is beautiful. It's in Glow and Grow Academy if you guys want to go follow her, but that's next Tuesday. If this was your first call with us and you guys enjoyed this free game, because we have a free masterclass every single week. Every week I bring somebody on this platform to talk to you guys about something, right? So we have how to authentically build your Instagram. We have website versus booking site, which will be the last week of the month, but all that info is on there. But for today, being on here today, Glow and Grow Academy is only $27 a month. You could cancel at any time. And every month we're going to be talking about something different. So this month, all of November is online marketing. Next month is going to be all customer service. The following month is going to go back to business finances with Debbie. If you guys were on Debbie's call, you know she is amazing. But I'm going to drop Daisy's Instagram down below. Mentor. So you guys could give her a follow. You guys follow each other. Does anybody else have any questions? If you're in Glow and Grow Academy, this is already recorded, so it'll be on the Academy, so you guys could rewatch this if you have any questions. But does anybody else have any questions for either of us? I'll give you guys a second. Gina, I'll send it to you right now. If you guys are interested in Glow and Grow Academy, this is just a special offer because it's technically $47 a month if you're not on here. So you get access to certain videos a month. So for example, all of November, you'll only have access to marketing videos and replays of all the live master classes. And it's a group based. So you guys could communicate with other women in this group. Not everybody showed up today. And then you have access to every call. So you get one free call on the Academy. And then if you want to stick around, then it's $27 a month and you could cancel anytime. And that's only the special for tonight. So if it's tomorrow and you try to join, it'll be back up to $47. Anybody else have any questions before I thank Daisy for coming? No?
So I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good.
I just feel like it's too much to write.
It's okay. Go.
So I do struggle a little bit with, I have stopped myself posting content about, I feel like the content that I want to post would be stepping on toes, and I don't want to make frenemies, basically. So I'm in the braiding industry and I do my research, you know. I look at the braiders in my area and a lot of them have amazing talent. One thing that I see about the mindset is that they're strictly focused on the next sale, the next person, the next person, the next person. And that has them stuck as a technician in their own business. They're not being bosses as far as growing and elevating past the chair. So when I want to create this, even in the most respectful way, because, and this is going to sound really bad, but it's the reality about the industry that I'm in. Most of my fellow braider, most of them, not everybody, they'll hear something like that and literally be like, who the hell is this chick? Who does she think she is? You know, when really I'm just trying to put you on game and like elevate, baby girl, because you can't be standing on your feet for 12 hours for the rest of your life, you know? So I struggle. It's like I don't have like imposter syndrome because I know that where I'm at right now is it's not gonna be where I'm gonna be always, you know. But I don't know how to show up and just say it without
Are you scared of the controversy?
I guess it is the controversy, yeah.
But guess what?
Um,
Everything is controversial, baby girl.
I guess. Yeah, that is true.
Everything, and guess what? What Daisy said, right? You're gonna attract and repel. So the people that have that mindset of, oh, you don't know who the hell you are, guess what? Bye. Repel you because you don't have the mindset of me. So in 15 years, when your back is broken and I'm over here making money, and I try to tell you 15 years ago, you told me that
Mm-hmm.
what am I talking about? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I've learned in my journey, even as a mentor, that sometimes you just have to say it, girl, because if nobody else is gonna say it, what's the point, right? You have this valuable information, and if you don't say it, nobody else is gonna say it, or people might think the same as you, and they're just too scared to say it because it's controversial, right? So I've learned, especially in my career, that I don't hold my tongue. If I feel passionate about it, if I truly feel like, yo, this needs to be said because it's not said, people are too scared to say something, people are too scared to stand out or stand up for what's right, then it's never said and it's always brushed under the rug and it just continues to happen over and over and over and over. So somebody is brave enough to be like, you know what, YOLO, this I'm passionate about it. I'm not hurting nobody's feelings. I'm not, you're not doing it maliciously, which is my main point. You're not malicious with your intent. So if you don't like it, that's on them. But if you're not malicious, that has nothing to do with you.
Right, right, right.
Daisy, if you want to add to that.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was looking at Gina like before she even spoke. I was like, you were like highlighted, so I'm happy that you like said something. But yeah, so what I said on my Instagram before was like usually the thing that we're scared to talk about is the thing that we need to talk about. The thing that we're scared to do or talk about is really going to be the thing that's going to propel you forward and is going to take you to the next level. So you are standing in your own way. And so yes, it is going to come with some controversy, but that, like I said, that's how you build a strong brand. And the other thing is like you're going to be a pioneer in your industry. And that was something else that I struggled with is because like I would have ideas and I was like, well, I don't see nobody else doing it. And so sometimes we other people like, oh, is anybody else doing it? Is anybody else doing it? And then we feel weird because no one else is like thinking about what you're thinking about. But that's the whole point because when you step in and you fill in that gap, that's how you're gonna stand out because you're filling in the gap.
That's good. Thank you.
Anybody else? Before I wish you guys all a great night.
Oh, one last thing, I forgot. Being nice and being kind are two different things. So being nice is like you're a pushover, you are like scared to step on people's toes. That's like being nice. Like, oh, I'm scared, like that's being nice. But being kind is like you can still say something to someone and you're like she said, like it's your intention, like you're saying it out of kindness. So sometimes I might tell people things and like how they perceive it is not my problem. I know that I'm telling you this out of love and out of kindness, but when you're nice, that's when you're going to be a pushover. So you got to be, we're called to be kind, we're not called to be nice.
And let me just add, guys, really quick before you hop out, because I got a lot to say. People will block you and hate you just for being you too. Let me just put it out there because there's a lot of people here in our area that have me blocked, and they never seen me in person, or they might have seen me in person and never approached me, but you have me blocked because like people will be intimidated too by you and what you have to say. And the more you show up authentically, the more people will hate you, which is crazy, but it's you being your true self. And if you hate me for being myself, then I guess I'm doing a good job. Guess I'm doing a good job because I'm just being me, right? So I hope you guys learned a lot today. It goes deeper. Social media and all this facade goes deeper than that, right? It like really starts here and it starts here. So it goes a lot deeper than this. And a lot of our future calls will be more about the mindset thing because a lot of people think like, well, how can I get clients? I just want more clients. And it's like, baby girl, we got to go through all of this first. You just don't get clients out of nowhere, right? Like we have to program you to have everything how it needs to be. But if nobody else has any questions, I hope you guys all have a great night. I will see you next Tuesday for our next call. If you're not in Glow and Grow, please join. I would love to see you all the time, but I hope you guys have a great night. See you next week.
Bye, ladies. It was
Bye.
great.